Part 28. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 274. Quack. This punishment was neither painful nor itchy to Hinata Hikari. Isn't it just solitary confinement? It's equivalent to practicing in seclusion. And Hinata Hikari is looking forward to some kind of reward. Uchiha Akeyama was much angrier. He was so angry that he almost vomited blood. But there was no way, he had to endure this. Those Uchiha won't be able to bother you in a short time. Although Hinata Xiao looked calm, she was still very happy to see the Uchiha deflated. Yeah, for a short time. Hinata Hikaru gave a mysterious smile, which was somewhat meaningful. This made Ri Xiangxiao feel that there was something in her words. Without waiting for Ri Xiangxiao to react, Rixiangguang looked around at everyone. I'm back safely, naturally I have to celebrate. Let's go, I will treat you to a big meal. Oh. All the genin cheered in unison. Uchiha Akeyama, who was watching Hinata Hikari leave, saw Hinata Hikaru and a group of people looking happy. He clenched his fist tightly and almost jumped on Hinata Hikari and beat him to death. In addition, of course, the Uchiha clan did not obtain the command and decision-making power regarding the Second Ninja War. So, he was also invited out of the conference room. Captain, regarding the underground money exchange. Uchiha Yashiro came up with the same angry look on his face. Obviously he couldn't stand Hinata's arrogance. Let Uchiha Takano pause for a moment. Uchiha Akeyama shouted in a low voice. There was no way, at this juncture, if someone were to find someone to kill Hinata Hikaru, the Uchiha clan would definitely be suspected of doing it. Therefore, the matter of hiring a killer needs to be postponed. Even if he has already arrived in Konoha, he still has to wait for a while. If not, the killer will have to pay a large amount of liquidated damages. Thinking of this, Uchiha Akeyama was so angry that he was shaking all over, but there was nothing he could do. A few days later. Konoha Hidden Village. Hinata Hikaru led a group of genin to patrol the border, and the legendary experience of a sea-level mission turning into S has become a new topic of conversation among the villagers and ninjas. Those originally disdainful views of Hinata Hikaru seemed to have turned into surprise. If they were put in Hinata's position, they might not be able to do better than her. The mansion of the Hyuga clan. Hinata Hikari is practicing taijutsu in her small garden. These days, she has been in confinement at home, being served delicious food and drinks, and it seems that she has returned to her carefree days. The news that Hinata Hikaru can refine enhanced versions of ninja tools has not spread much. It seemed that the higher UPS in Konoha had deliberately suppressed it. Their considerations in this matter are beyond Hinata's knowledge. In the past few days, Hinata Hikari has not been a happy fat man, but has been diligently practicing the secret body technique Heavy Flow Storm of Kumoyan village that he pried from Troy. In the courtyard, Hinata stood on the ground, leaning to one side and raising his right elbow. Immediately, his whole aura changed. This posture of raising his elbows doesn't look like any of Konoha's taijutsu moves. Even when used by a very small Hikari, it looks a bit funny. However, in the next moment, Hinata Hikaru's figure suddenly rushed sideways, and his whole person turned into an afterimage. The fluctuation of murderous intention, heavy flow of violence. Boom! The red light flashed, and Hinata's whole body was covered in scarlet. Then, the stump exploded, and Hinata's elbow successfully destroyed most of the training stump. The entire power transmission process actually spreads from point to surface. Hinata put away his posture and nodded his little head with great satisfaction. It seems that the lethality is more powerful than the rock attack. Hinata Hikaru was referring to the explosive power of the point. The secret technique of Kumagakure village, Heavy Flow Storm, was even superior to rock attack. The trick to this move is to thrust quickly. In fact, This is a move that can be combined with teleportation, physical skills, and even other stunts. If you don't know the teleportation technique, don't learn it. After mastering the teleportation technique, he quickly rushes forward and uses acceleration to enhance his lethality. Of course, if the average person's elbow thrusts out so quickly, generally speaking, his arm will be disabled before the enemy is dead. Therefore, it needs to be paired with Thunder Chakra mode to form protection before use. However, Hinata Hikaru has fluctuations in killing intent and can activate it instantly. To a certain extent, it is more insidious and practical than the ninjas of Hidden Cloud Village. Because it can be activated at any time, and the ninjas in Hidden Cloud Village must first activate the Thunder Chakra mode, it is no less than telling people, I am going to turn up this. After initially practicing for a period of time, Hinata Hikaru could not help but yearn for the extremely powerful esoteric physical skills of Union Village. Those muscular guys are so expensive, so they naturally have their own power. As the saying goes, learn the skills of the foreigners to defeat the foreigners. Hikaru Hinata is happy to learn the skills of ninjas from other countries. After practicing the heavy storm, Hinata Hikaru started practicing the monkey demon fist again. Although the wave of killing intent itself can improve physical fitness, it is passive after all. Ape demon fist can use manual intervention to speed up this speed. And, the more Hikaru practices, the more he realizes that there is much to be done with the Saru demon fist. In this world 1000 years ago, there was no chakra. It is said that the ancestor of chakra, Atsutsuki Kagaya, brought chakra to the world. At that time, the three holy lands already existed. In other words, even if there is no chakra in this world, it still has its own cultivation method. Such as ape demon fist, such as primitive magic. This is an interesting story Hinata Hikaru heard from the monkey demon and Jireya's psychic toad. Before practicing the ape demon fist, of course you have to scratch your head and pay homage. Hinata looked weird and imitated the monkey's posture, running around in the yard. Don't ask, just ask, and apologize. With the use of the ape demon fist, the meridians all over the body seem to become active. Hinata, who has white eyes, can easily detect the movement and changes of chakra in the meridians in the body. Of course, Hikaru Hinata calls it inner vision. Drink. With a clear sound, Hinata Guang struck out one after another, causing all the bones and flesh in his body to move. Chakra flows through the body, washing it, and in turn, making the defense stronger. Faintly, Hinata Guang felt that he had touched something. That is an indescribable state. This kind of experience is often experienced by Hyuga. Usually it happens while practicing taijutsu. As a taijutsu ninja who can learn various taijutsu and use them smoothly, there is no doubt about Hinata's talent. After reviewing the past, Hinata Hikaru can introduce new ideas. A lot of ideas and physical skills also surfaced. This time, too. Hinata Hikaru feels that she can use the monkey demon fist and combine it with other physical techniques to come up with something. This phenomenon is very common. At least it's common in this world. Both Mat Dai and Metkai father and son are considered to have no talent. It's the father and son Heitake Sakumo and Heitake Kakashi who are considered to be geniuses. They can all invent new moves based on what they have learned. This is humanity's own potential and nature's gift to humanity. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 275. The Land of Fire, a secret place underground. Wow! Uchiha-fan woke up from the pain. In the dream, it was all Hinata Hikaru's nervous and hateful face. When he opened his eyes again. Is this, the underworld? All around, it was pitch black. My whole body aches. This is the gap between this world and that world. An old face suddenly appeared in front of Uchiha Yefan. With this face, few people must be 70 years old. Uchiha Yefan was not afraid, but breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that he did not die again. It hurts. Uchiha Yefan twitched his body subconsciously. Then, he looked at his body. The moment he saw it clearly, Uchiha Yefan's eyes suddenly widened. The arm seemed to be missing again, this time it was completely bare. And his whole body was wrapped in bandages, looking miserable. This time, you were seriously injured. The white-haired old man said coldly. His name is Madara Uchiha. It was the legendary Uchiha Madara, the last leader of the Uchiha clan and the strong man who founded the village together with Senju Hashirama. In the legends of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Madara left many rumors. But those are taboos. The Uchiha clan is forbidden to mention the name Uchiha Madara. Oh. Uchiha Yefan responded casually, with no emotion like surprise at all. As long as you don't die. It was Black Zetsu and White Zetsu who saved you, however, it can be said to be a miracle that you were saved. Your body was not completely destroyed by the detonating talisman, even so, it was unbearable. It's a small injury, so I still treated you. Uchiha Madara said coldly. Just like the last time, when I was rescued by him. In that mission, everyone thought Uchiha Yefan was dead. However, in fact, not only did Uchiha Yefan not die, he was also saved by Black Zetsu and White Zetsu. And now, it is Uchiha Yefan who is saved by them for the second time. I really want to thank you, ancestor. Uchiha Yefan looked up at the dome, which was still the ceiling made of soil. Okay, you're welcome. Next to him, the creature named Baiju made an okay gesture, grinned, and smiled. Uchiha Yefan. Uchiha Madara. Ignoring Baizetsu who was taking advantage of him and making fun of him, Madara Uchiha continued, heh. He smiled. It's too early to thank me now, you will have to repay this kindness sooner or later. Uchiha Yefan did not answer. The old man chuckled and walked slowly. When he turned around, something was clearly revealed on his back. There are several tubes inserted on it, and these tubes extend all the way along the darkness. In the darkness, Uchiha Yefan couldn't see clearly, but he knew that his body could be healed and even the strange arm was installed because of the source deep in the darkness. Uchiha Madara was able to survive because of this. Uchiha Madara said that with his lifespan he would not be able to live this old. In his youth, countless wars consumed his life prematurely. As he adapted to the environment, Uchiha Yefan could vaguely see countless tree roots in the darkness, and the thick trees were deeply rooted in the ground. My name is Uchiha Madara, I am the undead soul of the Uchiha clan, and also your ancestor. Uchiha Madara sat down slowly and said the name buried in history. You have said this before. Uchiha Yefan frowned. I am indeed Uchiha Madara, although I am a mediocre person who will die immediately if I don't rely on the golem behind me to supply chakra at all times. Uchiha Yefan slowly turned his head. The big tree called the golem, no, it's not an ordinary tree at all. Moreover, there is a human-shaped white object hanging from the roots of the tree like a hanged ghost. White, absolutely. That's right, there is not just one but plural existences. According to Uchiha Madara, they were all cultivated by the heretic demons combined with Hashirama cells. Hello. A white humanoid creature hanging from the tree trunk suddenly hung down and landed on the ground. Hello. After that comes the second. One of them has only half a face, while the other seems to be wearing a mask. I am Baizetsu. I am also Baiju, but I gave myself a name, a Fei Baiju, who was wearing a swirling mask, stretched out his thumb and pointed at himself. Oh, you are so cunning. Its companion, another Baiju with only half a face, spoke. No, I am Baiju. Baiju, who initially took advantage of Uchiha-Yafan, ran over and began to emphasize his existence. At the same time, it was also the existence that saved Uchiha-Yafan twice. Uchiha-Yafan calls it White Jew number 1. The rest are number 2, number 3, and so on. Of course, the guy with the swirling mask, if he likes to call him Afe, just call him Afe. Uchiha-Yafan didn't know how to describe these strange white creatures. But, since even Uchiha Madara is still alive, it doesn't matter if some vegetative people appear. Uchiha-Yafan looked around and found that Uchiha Madara was motionless. What's wrong with him? It must have been a fart, Baiju number 1 said. What does hiccup mean? Baiju number 2 asked. He's just dead, Afe, Baiju said. Shut up. A dark-looking guy emerged from the ground. It is absolutely black. The dim yellow eye that looked like a demon stared at Baiju. Several Baiju fell silent instantly. You don't need to think about it to know that Heiju is their boss. Uchiha-Yafan stared at Black Zetsu. According to Uchiha Madara, Black Zetsu was created by him using yin-yang dun. It is an extension of his will. But Uchiha-Yafan felt that Black Zetsu was even more evil. When you see that dim yellow eye, you can feel the waves of malice it exudes. This made Uchiha-Yafan very uncomfortable. And what neither Uchiha Madara nor Uchiha-Yafan knows is, Black Zetsu is the third son of Otsutsuki Kagaya. It disguises itself as being created by Uchiha Madara using yin-yang escape. And Uchiha Madara also thinks so. But what even Black Zetsu doesn't know is, if the original plot is followed, it should appear again in the future era of Uchiha Obito. Not now. In the era of Hyuga Hikari, he was created by Uchiha Madara. All of this is the butterfly effect produced by the arrival of daylight. Black Zetsu turned his head and looked at Uchiha Madara, who was motionless. Madara always falls asleep because he is too old. Recently, this situation has become more and more serious. The current Uchiha Madara is not the Uchiha Madara who only had one breath left in the original work. However, the situation is deteriorating towards the original. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 276. Yes. When Uchiha-Yafan heard that Uchiha Madara was not dead, he just responded lightly. By the way, is there a mirror here? Uchiha-Yafan asked. Baiju number 1 and Afe looked at each other and quickly found a dirty small mirror. Because Baiju often go out for walks, they sometimes pick up a lot of things. Why do you need a mirror? Baiju number 1 asked. Because I want to remember Hikari's persecution of me. Uchiha-Yafan, who had lost both arms, suddenly roared and became extremely emotional. Baiju held the mirror and took a look at the patient Uchiha-Yafan. The next second, Uchiha-Yafan lost control of his emotions. Hikari. Uchiha-Yafan looked at the guy in the mirror who was neither human nor ghost, and it was hard to believe that it was him. Damn it, if it weren't for her, how could I be like this? That little psycho has been plotting to kill me since the beginning. Ha ha ha, but it's a pity that I'm not dead. I will continue to get stronger and get out of here. I want to seek revenge on her. I want all the people who looked down on me in the past to die. Uchiha-Yafan stared at himself in the mirror, hatred surging in his heart. Because of his emotional excitement, his originally black eyes were suddenly dyed a layer of scarlet. Megatama, one on the left and one on the right, appears in the two eyes respectively. It was precisely because of his possession of the Sharingan that Uchiha-Yafan dared to seize the eyes of his tribe from Byubi. Originally, he should have gotten that eye, but it was all because of that little mental illness that he failed. Hatred is gathering. White Zetsu wanted to comfort Uchiha Yefan, but was directly interrupted by Black Zetsu. Soon, there was a change in Uchiha Yefan's eyes. The black Megatama was spinning, and the overwhelming hatred stimulated the mind, thereby releasing unique chakra, which was then fed back to the eyes. The Sharingan, which originally had only one Megatama, began to slowly emerge with another one. Then, it condenses and becomes an entity. At this point, Uchiha Yefan opened the second Megatama Sharingan. Ha 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 ha, I feel the power. Uchiha Yefan looked at himself in the mirror like a madman. The burning sensation traveled from his brain to his eyes, and it was obvious, his Sharingan evolved. Just as Senju Uto thought, Uchiha Yefan is not only not dead, but is likely to be upgraded again. Oh, he did level up. Despair, anger, and hatred allowed Uchiha Yefan's power to evolve again. But at the same time, it also made him almost lose his mind and be affected by negative thinking. Uchiha Yefan's eyes were red and there was a twisted smile on his face. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu immediately helped me transplant new arms, and legs and feet. I can't wait to get used to the new strength. It is good. Heija nodded. I was very satisfied to see Uchiha Yefan's reaction. In terms of talent, although Uchiha Yefan cannot be compared with Uchiha Madara at all, but, he is not bad either. And his slow descent into darkness is completely in line with Uchiha Madara's plan. For this, I have to thank that kid named Hinata Hikaru. Sooner or later, Uchiha Ivan will break with Konoha and embark on the path of executing the infinite Tsukuyomi. And just as Black Zetsu said, Uchiha Madara fell into a deep sleep. Even if Uchiha Yefan cried and howled again, Uchiha Madara didn't react at all. Black Zetsu glanced at Uchiha Madara, grinned, and smiled. Maybe, Uchiha Yefan will be promoted to another level by then. Hyuga optical girl, you have to be careful. Senju Uto held a broom and was sweeping the entrance of the ninja school again. I don't know who he tricked again and was punished. Senju Uto's reputation as the crane tail is known to the whole village. Like Hinata Hikaru, Senju Uto is the shame of the Senju clan. Of course, this refers not only to Senju Uto's strength, but also to his shamelessness. But there is no way, who makes him belong to the Thousand Hands clan. He couldn't be beaten, he could only be scolded, and at most he would be punished corporally. And Senju Uto is very happy. He hummed a tune while casually cleaning the ninja school. Today is the weekend and all the naughty kids are on vacation, so the ninja school is empty. Hinata passed by here not for anything else, but to see a few people who shouldn't be here. The ninja of Hidden Sand Village. What are they doing? Behind Hinata Hikaru were Minato Namikaze and Namatsu. The three people acting together naturally noticed this. Maybe it's the messenger from Tsunagakure village. On the way, although the ninjas of Konoha frequently cast unfriendly glances at the ninjas of Tsunagakure village, those ninjas of Tsunagakure village walked calmly on the street. And looking at their arrogant looks, they obviously don't think there's anything wrong with them. Accompanying them were two Umbu from Konoha. Two Umbu, one on the left and one on the right, were surrounded by several envoys from Tsunagakure village. Now, it's wartime. Although the war had only broken out for more than 2 months, it was already an indisputable fact that Tsunagakure village had invaded the Fire Country. Konoha expelled the Sand Ninja who invaded the border of Fire Country. Then, the Suna Ninja launched a large force and fought fiercely with Konoha in the northern area of Kawa Country. The Kingdom of Sichuan is a neutral country linking the Kingdom of Wind and the Kingdom of Fire. In the original work, the secret cave of the Akatsuki organization is located in the southern part of the country of Kawa. After a few casual words with Senju Uto, Hinata followed the Sand Ninja envoys openly. Generally speaking, their purpose should be guessable. They just want to negotiate a peace or continue fighting. To negotiate a peace, just let the lion speak loudly and let Konoha cede the land and so on, then Tsunagakure will stop the war, blah blah blah. If it doesn't work, then say a few harsh words, slam the door and leave, and everyone will continue to compete to see who has the harder fist. In line with the principle of not killing the envoys when the two sides are fighting, Konoha will not make it too difficult for them. There are 4 people in the Tsunagakure village ninja mission. Matches the configuration of a squad. 3 of them are adults and 1 is a juvenile. Judging by his age, he should be about the same age as Senju Uto. The boy looked at Konoha curiously, obviously attracted by the sight of Konoha. There is absolutely no such lush green appearance in the sand-hidden village surrounded by yellow sand. Even though it's late autumn, the street trees on both sides of Konoha's roads are still green. There is also the aura of affluence on the streets, which is far beyond what Tsunagakure village can match. But what worries Hinata Hikaru, Namikaze Minato, and Namatsu even more is the identity of that young man. Short reddish-brown hair, 13 or 4 years old, and a serious face, this young man's appearance and attitude are clear. The Tsunagakure village ninja forehead protector tied around his waist, and the tassel-like golden placer gold occasionally floating in front of him, illustrate the limits of his blood inheritance. Or, identity. Without any seal or movement, the placer gold appears and disappears invisibly. Rosa. A disciple of the Sandaime Kaze Kage, he learned magnet release from the Sandaime Kaze Kage. The latter controls sand iron, while Luosha controls sand gold. Of course, he also has a more prominent identity, that is, the 4th generation Kaze Kage in the original work. At the same time, he is also the father of Gaara. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 277. At this time, during the Second Ninja War, Raza was still only a 13-year-old boy. Although he is very young, he is already the Chuunin of Tsunagakure village. In this vast world, there is more than just Hinata Hikari who is a genius. The next generation in all countries is beginning to flourish like mushrooms after a rain. During the war, promotions were usually very rapid. Coupled with Raza's own talent, he might be promoted to Jounin the year after next, or even next year. Luosha's mission this time was to follow the envoys to see the world and see the rich Konoha. Furthermore, compared with the barren sand-hidden village, I understand the situation of sand-hidden village and the heavy responsibility that I shoulder. Hinata Hikaru was not the only one to notice Raza's appearance. Others noticed, too. On this road leading to the Hokage building and also to the mission release place, Konoha ninjas are constantly coming and going. Seeing Hinata Hikaru's figure, the others immediately came over. Come from Tsunagakure village. Hinata Xiao walked up to Hinata Hikari and his 2 teammates. It seems they are here to negotiate peace. Sarutobi Ryo, who knew something inside, shook his head. But I don't think the war will end so soon. Before the war, Tsunagakure village was an ally of Konoha. However, after the war broke out, they went back on their word. According to the original development of history, Konoha was attacked by its allies and suffered heavy losses. But because of Yesong's early report, history changed. The envoys who were not supposed to show up also showed up. Konoha's side did not suffer much losses, and they had the right time, place, and people. Under the leadership of Tsunade and the assistance of other elite Jounin, Konoha firmly occupied the front. Not only did they prevent the attack of the ninjas of Tsunagakure village, but they also advanced the front to the country of Kawakawa. After that, it was a stalemate. For Konoha, behind us are green grasslands, forests, mountains, and rivers. If necessary, local materials can be obtained to solve the supply problem. Not so in Sunagakure village. With thousands of miles of yellow sand behind them, and only relying on a few barren oases to supply supplies, it was still too difficult for them. In other words, if there is a war of attrition, Konoha is not afraid of Sunagakure village. Sand-hidden village urgently needs to find a breakthrough. Therefore, the Sandame Kazekage sent an envoy over to discuss the war. Let's go to Konkong. Hinata took a step forward, indicating that he wanted to follow Logosha and take a look. Others also postponed taking on the mission and followed Hinata Hikari. Because of the white eyes, everyone doesn't have to worry about getting lost. But Logosha didn't know that he was already being watched by a group of people like animals in a zoo. Logosha walked through the streets, feeling filled with emotion and surprise. What is emotional is? Konoha is far richer than Sunagakure village, and it is not an exaggeration to describe it as the difference between heaven and earth. The sand-hidden village lives in the desert, with the never-ending wind and sand blowing overhead, and the buildings are all made of sand or stones. Compared to the various gorgeous houses in Konoha, Logosha feels only envy in her heart. Not to mention the crowds of people coming and going on the streets and the bustling shopping streets. It wasn't until he came to Konoha and experienced the scene with his own eyes that Logosha realized how dire straits his country and his villagers were living in. As Logosha walked, she was attracted by a stall. It's obviously a small stall, but many people gather here. In addition to many small children, there were also adults. Maybe, we can buy some souvenirs back home. Logosha thought of his childhood sweetheart, a girl named Gyolugo. And Garo is Gara's mother in the original work. At the stall, a craftsman was holding two miniature puppets, each playing two roles, and beating them back and forth. One of the puppets, with long black hair and red Warring States period armor, was modeled after the image of the first Hokage Senju Tobirama. The other person made Logosha frown and look unhappy. Because, that doll, is exactly the image of the first generation Kazekage Raito. There are many puppets in front of the stall, and he personally uses this performance method to attract people to watch and buy his products. The first Hokage, Hashirama-sama, used his wood release to the tree realm, and the wind release that gave birth to the first Kazekage Raito, was immediately destroyed. Not only that, the trees stretched out and grabbed him in an instant. This ninja from Sunagakure village dares to invade our Konoha. The first Hokage will definitely tell him to return without success. The production of the puppets cannot be said to be very delicate, and many parts are made of wood and cloth strips. However, the ones made by the vendors are quite charming, and the movable parts are amazing. It even reminded Logosha of the village's puppetry. The vendors were spitting, basically bragging about how powerful the ninja god Senju Hashirama was, and how vulnerable the ninjas of Sunagakure village, and even the Kazekage, were. This kind of thing that boosts one's own ambitions attracted bursts of cheers from the people watching in Konoha. In these war years, using such techniques and themes is undoubtedly inspiring, and makes people willing to take out their wallets. Soon, there were children rushing to buy the miniature Senju Hashirama dolls on the stall. And the vendors were so happy that they were grinning from ear to ear because of the money they received. Hinata glanced at the Hokage rock. The first Hokage Senju Hashirama was the strongest ninja in the history of Konoha. Claimed to never be defeated. Not only did he create the Hidden Leaf Village, but he also made Konoha the truly strongest in the history he was responsible for. At that time, Konoha was arrogant, and all other countries' shinobi villages, shadows, were just scum. In the era of the first Hokage Senju Hashirama, no one dared to go to war with Konoha. Pity. No matter how powerful Senju Hashirama is, he is only a human being. Although he is known as the god of ninja, he is still a human being. When Senju Hashirama died, the shinobi world was in chaos. A war called the First Ninja War broke out. The entire ninja world has been suppressed by Senju Hashirama for so long that everyone went crazy. In that war, the second generation Hokage and the second generation Raikage died one after another. It sounds nice to say that Konoha is still strong, but anyone with a brain knows that Konoha is no longer what it used to be. Sarutobi Ryo thought of the past events of the Senju Hashirama era recorded in the literature, and couldn't help sighing. If back then, no other ninja village would dare to provoke a war. What a bunch of self-absorbed wretches. The speaker was none other than Logosha. It was obvious that Logosha was laughing at the scene in front of him. Senju Hashirama is dead, but Konoha, which has declined, is still remembering its past glory, using it to comfort itself and hypnotize itself. What a ridiculous thing this is. No, this leader does not agree with what you said. Hinata took a step forward and walked up to Logosha, with a smile on her face. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 278. Logosha frowned and looked at this cute girl who suddenly appeared in front of her. The Hyuga clan is. Seeing those white eyes, Logosha recognized them at a glance and made countless people in the ninja world salivate. They were the blood successors limit, Byakugan. I didn't expect that I would bump into someone just walking around Konoha. And, what did she just say? This leader said that whether I agree with you or not is just a matter of opinion. When Raza was sizing up Hinata Hikaru, Hinata was also sizing up Raza. Genin. Logosha's eyes were filled with ordinary sunlight, and maybe only those white eyes could attract his attention. In Hinata's eyes, Logosha was a scumbag. Well, there are very few people who are not scum in Hinata's eyes. Oh, you don't agree with what I said, do you think what I said is wrong? Although Raza was in Konoha, she didn't feel that what she said was right or anything wrong. The strong, generally have an aura of momentum. Logosha is no exception. As the fourth generation Kazekage in the original work has Logosha, the strong one is the heart. The Chuyunin, at least the Chuyunin. Sarutobi Ryo and others frowned when they felt the aura emanating from Raza. In front of him was Raza, who looked to be about the same age as Yuuto Senju, but powerful, but much stronger than Yuuto Senju, and on a completely different level. The elite Chuyunin. Xiangxiao saw more things and immediately asserted. Even if there is Raza in the Chuyunin level, he is already at the pinnacle of existence and may be promoted to Jounin at any time. The tense atmosphere also made passers-by feel that something was wrong. And when they saw the ninja forehead protector of Tsunagakura village hanging on Logosha, their pupils suddenly shrank. Then, the mother picked up her child and left in a hurry. Soon, the customers at the originally bustling stall dispersed, leaving only the stall owner with a confused look on his face. You too. The stall owner trembled as he looked at Hinata Hikari with a smile on his little face, and Logosha with a serious face, as if he was submerged in water and at a loss. Alas! Hinata Hikaru suddenly picked up a doll from the stall. Senju Hashirama held the doll in his hand and shook it. The puppet came to life and started to shake. The first Hokage was the founding figure of Konoha Hidden Village. There is no doubt that he has made great contributions. If he is remembered by future generations, why is he wrong? Hinata said loudly. Senju Hashirama's deeds can't be told one day and one night, and the villagers of Konoha remember him as a good deed. Unlike in the original work, no one remembers Senju Hashirama's deeds after decades. Original work, it's time for the Chunin exams and there are a bunch of umbu who can't recognize Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama. This is really embarrassing. It should be remembered, but there is a kind of sadness that must be said in being remembered. But at least, in this era, the names Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama still exist in people's hearts. People in Konoha, just like to live in the past and dream of becoming the most powerful country in Konoha. Luo Sha sneered mercilessly. Is Konoha very powerful now? No. If it was so powerful, why would a war happen? Moreover, Konoha was invaded by multiple countries and shinobi villages at the same time without restraint. This does not necessarily mean that Konoha is in decline. There is no Senju clan in today's generation, and it has become a joke that a shadow-level powerhouse is the Senju of Mori. Perhaps Konoha has indeed declined compared to the first Hokage, and there are far fewer strong people. Hinata Hikaru looked at the doll in his hand and then looked up at Raza. But just because Konoha has become weaker doesn't mean Tsunagakuer has become stronger. Hikaru Hinata, this line, comes from a certain science and was adapted by Accelerator. Ridiculous. Luo Sha snorted coldly, and the chakra in his body swept across the whole place for a moment. Sand gold suddenly appeared and flew into the air, showing his ability to control sand gold. To be strong is to have momentum. Seeing this scene, Sarutobi Ryo and others gasped. Luo Sha showed a strength that was completely different from what they could compare to. But even if Sarutobi Ryo and others were like this, Raza's behavior of retreating would only arouse their dissatisfaction. Isn't he just an elite Chuunin so arrogant? Hinata Hikari looked unmoved and even held his hand in front of him. Elite Chuunin, some of you are really scary, some of you admire me. There was a lot of ridicule in his words. Luo Sha didn't know that he sneered and praised, not bad, courage. Well, I have this leader who is so brave. Hinata Hikaru looked very proud. Hikari-sensei, don't want it. Yuato Senju ran over and signaled Hinata Hikari not to be impulsive. Gaga, you don't have to interfere, I'm here to meet him. Hinata Hikari stretched out her hand to signal the others to stay back. Luo Sha smiled and said loudly, if you are a genin and I am a Chuunin and you are my opponent, I will bully you. If this is the case, I will maintain my strength at the genin level. Let's give it a try. As he spoke, Luo Sha's aura changed again, and he felt a pain, and thoughts came to his mind. At this time, Luo Sha was still a hot-blooded young man, but he no longer became the Kazekage and became numb in the future. No politician can do what he should do at his age. Impulsive, brave, and aggressive. Maybe it's not wise, but there is a certain youth, and youth is a qualification. The rare thing about fighting the Hyuga clan in Konoha is experience. Come. Hinata threw the puppet into the sky. Everyone was a little puzzled when they saw that she was acting strangely. But the next moment something happened, everyone suddenly opened their eyes. Laugh. Chakra is released from the 5 fingers, and there are 5 chakra lines that are impossible to identify unless you look carefully, and they are connected to the Senju Hashirama doll. Luo Sha's eyes widened with astonishment on her face. This technique. That's right, your Tsunagakuer village is a sea-level ninjutsu puppet. Hinata Hikaru danced with his right hand, and the 1,000-armed Hashirama puppet suddenly stood proudly in the air. The sea-level ninjutsu puppet technique in Tsunagakuer village is a secret ninjutsu. There are several steps to becoming a puppet master. One, being able to refine chakra is the basic entry point for a ninja. 2, being able to release chakra from your fingers requires both talent and hard work. The art of controlling puppets through chakra lines was named puppet art. It turns out, Hokage-sama is a reward for this ninjutsu. Namikaze Minato smiled faintly and looked at Hinata's figure controlling the doll. Although he was imprisoned a few days ago, the reward was also transferred to Hinata Hikari's hands. But not even Namikaze Minato could have imagined that Sarutobi Hiruzen would give this ninjutsu to Hinata Hikaru as a reward. Damn it! Luo Sha almost said this through gritted teeth. Without thinking, he knew that there were ninjas in Konoha who had obtained the ninjutsu in Tsunagakuer village by killing or interrogating Tsunagakuer, the puppet masters. This method of obtaining other ninja village jutsu through various means, is performed in almost every ninja village. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 279. Interesting. Luo-sha said through gritted teeth. Then, he stood there without even moving, and the placer gold coiled around him like tassels. Finally, entered the body of a doll on the stall. It is the doll of the first generation Kaze Cage Raito. Compared to the finely crafted dolls of Senju Hashirama, the dolls of Kaze Cage Raito are much simpler. However, this does not affect the operation of Luo-sha. The next moment, under everyone's surprised gaze, the puppet of the first generation Hokage Raito started to move, and actually ran to the puppet of the first generation Hokage Senju Hashirama controlled by Hinata Hikari. What kind of ninjutsu is this? You don't need any seals, you can still control the doll. The genin of Konoha exclaimed, shocked by the scene before them. It's magnetic escape. Namikaze Minato said gently. At that time, the second generation Kaze Cage Samana developed a magnetic escape that could be used by human ninjas based on Shikaku Ichibi's abilities. Furthermore, the Sandaime Kaze Cage carried it forward. And Raza is the disciple of the Sandaime Kaze Cage, so it is natural for him to inherit the magnetic escape. However, the Sandaime Kaze Cage controls sand iron, while Raza controls sand gold. As for the issue of no need for seals, Luo-sha does not always need to seal. In some slightly complicated magnetic escape applications, he still needs to follow the steps and read the seals like an ordinary ninja. I see. After hearing Namikaze Minato's explanation, everyone suddenly realized. And their gazes towards Luo-sha became hot. I was actually able to see the legendary magnetic escape. Fortunately, I followed Hikaru Hinata to watch the show today. You know the situation in our village very well. Raza's eyes turned to Namikaze Minato, expressing great interest in this handsome young man. However, there are still opponents in front of us that need to be dealt with first. Let's start. When Luo-sha shouted low, the fierce fighter and Senju Hashirama controlled by him and Hinata Hikaru respectively started to move. In an instant, the two puppets landed and faced off like real ninjas. Unexpectedly, you can actually master the puppet technique of our sand-hidden village, however, this does not mean that you are qualified to compete with me. Compared to Hinata, who uses her slender right hand to control the doll, Raza has her arms folded across her chest, looking calm. It's a duck. Hinata Hikaru had a smile on her little face and nodded repeatedly. This leader has only learned this ninjutsu for less than a week, please give me some advice. Yin-yang weirdness. Luo-sha shouted, and the puppet in front of him took the lead in attacking. But Hinata Hikari said unhurriedly, back then, at the 5-cage conference, the Sandaime Kaze Cage wanted Konoha to cede the land, but in the end, the land was not divided and the tailed beast was gone. Back then, Tsunagakura village already had a Shikaku one. The first generation Kaze Cage Raito proposed that Tsunagakura village could do without a second tailed beast, but Konoha must cede a piece of rich land. As a result, under Senju Tobirama's manipulation, not only did he not agree to Raito's request, the Nanao Shijiki that was supposed to be allocated to Tsunagakura village, also flew away like a cooked duck. Longian village, who looked confused and had no qualifications to participate in the Five Shadows conference, sat at home while the tailed beast came up from the sky. Nanao Chongming actually fell into the hands of Longian village. Longian village, who am I? Where am I? What should I do? Humph. You are so sharp. 30 years to the east of the river and 30 years to the west of the river. Don't hide your poverty. Luo-sha shouted loudly, and Lidu, which was originally moving slowly, suddenly accelerated and rushed towards thousand-armed pillars like a sharp arrow. Those who live in memories, let them live and die in time like this. Golden placer gold surges in the doll's joints, and the originally dead thing seems to have come to life. Magnetic Escape specializes in defeating puppet masters and metal ninja tools. Because placer gold can flow into the puppet's joints, turning the puppet master into a waste. As for metal ninja tools, because the chakra of magnetic release is magnetic, it cannot have any effect. Of course, sand gold can also control puppets. He saw Leto suddenly swinging his fist and attacking Senju Hashirama. It is obviously a slender wooden arm, but it is strong and vigorous, just like a real person. The air vibrated, and there was even a faint sound. Everyone in Konoha suddenly opened their eyes. Luosha's operation completely exceeded their understanding. Is this the magnetic escape of Sand Hidden Village? Quack. Hinata Hikari smiled softly, shook her little hand, and Senju Hashirama assumed a soft fist posture. At this moment, everyone in Konoha simply wanted to vomit blood. Hinata Hikaru, the adaptation is not random editing, the drama is not nonsense. Can Senju Hashirama use soft fist? You want to apologize to the people of the Fire Nation. This leader is teasing you. The next moment, Senju Hashirama faced fierce to Konoha, whirlwind. Facing the fierce fighting wind, Senju Hashirama raised his leg to sweep across. It is the D-level Konoha Taijutsu, Konoha Gale. Okay. Everyone nodded, indicating that this was possible. Senju Hashirama is not only great in ninjutsu, but his physical skills are even A and NB. Since it was a taijutsu invented by his brother Senju Tobirama, it is not surprising that Senju Hashirama can use it. The puppet's calf drew an arc in the air and suddenly collided with Lido's fist. Boom! I heard the air explode. The next moment, Senju Hashirama kicked out his left leg again. It was the second level of Konoha Tornado. Interesting. Only then can you qualify to be my opponent. Luosha still kept her arms folded across her chest, pretending to be proud of me. Under the control of his chakra, Leto withstood Hinata's attack. Konoha Gale. However, Hyuga has a lot of taijutsu moves. This competition is actually about skills. Because since Raza said that he must keep his level at the same level as Hinata Hikaru, then, the only competition of skills becomes the only one. After Senju Hashirama landed, he swept forward with a low body and instantly kicked Raito's legs. Leto was hit and immediately floated into the air. But Luosha took his time and gave a backhand palm, causing Lido and Senju Hashirama to collide. At this time, the dolls on both sides retreated and started again. Everyone looked at the scene and did not dare to express their anger. Whether it was the strongest taijutsu level of Konoha Genin represented by Hinata Hikari or the ability of Raza to adapt to changes, they were amazed. Physical skills are good, but not enough. People who live in the past, how can they compare with those who look forward? With the Luosha chakra incited, Leto was seen moving against the wind, like thunder. This scene shocked everyone. It is clear that this is the application of wind attribute chakra. Lido is the shadow of the wind, so he can naturally escape from the wind. Luosha's magnetic escape is a combination of wind plus earth, so it is natural to be able to use wind escape. It's obviously just a doll, but at this moment it has the charm of a real ninja. Wrapped in the most powerful wind escape chakra, Lido suddenly attacks Senju Hashirama. At this moment, it is unstoppable. Everyone exclaimed in unison, and even foresaw the end of the 1,000 hand pillars being shattered. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 280. Quack, Muda. However, when Hinata looked at this scene, her white eyes flashed, her little hands shook, and she actually took the initiative to meet him. Court death. The corners of Luosha's mouth turned up, looking at Hinata's suicidal behavior. She couldn't help but laugh in her heart. Hinata didn't argue and just concentrated on controlling the doll. Seeing that the two dolls are about to collide, Senju Hashirama will definitely be shattered. But Hinata Hikaru suddenly shook his little hand. Senju Hashirama suddenly dwarfed and was instantly level with the ground. That's it? He actually got under Lido's crotch. What is this operation? Nani, even Luosha was shocked by this change. No one would dare to imagine that Hinata Hikaru actually controlled Senju Hashirama to make this move. Luosha thought about all the possibilities, but she just didn't expect such a change. Because, this is not Naruto at all, okay. Quack. This leader has won. Hinata Hikaru suddenly swung his hand, and saw Senju Hashirama rushing past from under his crotch, and turned around to kill him. Lido, who was sprinting with all his strength, could no longer turn around quickly. Just then, Senju Hashirama's left and right hands merged, and then Millennium killing. Boom. Ah. Don't get me wrong, it was the stall owner who was screaming. He was frightened by the fight between these two gods. Of course, what scared him even more was that Hinata Hikaru actually let Senju Hashirama's doll go, to poke other people's. At this moment, time seemed to stand still. Luosha stared at Hinata Hikaru. The two dolls in the field were motionless. Senju Hashirama maintained the 1,000-year killing posture, while Lido bowed his body, looking like he was riding a crane to the west. Quack. Hinata laughed strangely, let go of the chakra cord, put his little hands on his back, and looked at Luosha with a proud look on his face. Hyuga clan guy, don't you know how to be ashamed? Luosha was questioning, even gasping for breath because of too much surprise and anger. Everyone in Konoha was also stunned by Hinata's operation. Hinata said nothing, but had a smile on his face. Back then, Senju Hashirama had secretly attacked Madara Uchiha from behind. It's just that almost everyone doesn't know it. Senju Hashirama is very majestic and upright, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a sinister side. After all, how can you be a leader without being sinister? And Uchiha Madara, who had never been able to urinate when someone stood behind him, never thought that he would be tricked to death by Senju Hashirama from behind. Ninja. Just to surprise. Luosha wanted to say something else, but he was not the kind of person who couldn't afford to lose. Looking for excuses will only make him appear incompetent. This contest, he indeed lost. Your name? Luosha asked. I will not change my name in practice, but I will not change my surname. My name is Master Tongtian. Hinata Guan looked up at the sky, feeling leisurely and proud. Ahem, it's Hinata Hikaru Namikaze Minato reminded kindly. Good. Good. Luosha nodded repeatedly. I remember you. Hinata Hikaru. In the future, we will meet on the battlefield. After saying that, Luosha turned around and left quickly. At the same time, gold dust leaked out of the doll. The stall owner, who was about to cry, suddenly opened his eyes wide when he saw this scene. These are. This is the compensation he gave you, take it to practice, it can be worth a lot of money. Hinata Hikaru walked up to the stall owner and reminded him. Oh. The stall owner immediately knelt down and began to carefully collect the placer gold. Raza was defeated by Hinata Hikaru. Although she used unconventional means, her victory was undisputed. To everyone's surprise, Hinata Hikaru not only took advantage of the elite Shuunin, but even the disciples of the Sandaime Kazekage were unable to do anything to defeat her. This is, how cool. Moreover, the sea-level puppet technique is the ninjutsu of Tsunagakura village. Everyone made guesses and soon understood that it was the reward given to her by the Sandaime Hokage for her last mission. For a moment, they were extremely envious. However, not everyone can learn the art of puppetry. Otherwise, Tsunagakura village would have been full of puppet masters. In fact, one must have superb chakra control skills to do this. As a member of the Hyuga clan, it is not difficult for Hikari to release chakra from his 5 fingers. Narashizen looked at the scene and compared Hinata Hikari with Uchiha Yefan. Discover. Even his recognized friend Uchiha Yefan cannot catch up with Hinata Hikaru in terms of chakra control. Narashizen couldn't help but shook his head. It is ridiculous for the Uchiha clan to say that Hinata Hikaru persecuted Uchiha Yefan. Hinata Hikaru has such a talent, and there is no need to persecute Uchiha Yefan. She is a presence that everyone looks up to. Whether it's a genin of the same class, Troy from Hidden Cloud Village, or even Raza from the elite Chuyunin. They were all defeated one by Hinata Hikari's hands. Today's battle further established Hinata Hikaru's title as the strongest genin. Everyone looked at Hinata Hikaru with a little more yearning in their eyes. Of course, not the neurotic thing about yearning for her. A group of evil people in Tsunagakura village are trying to invade Konoha. Everyone, please work harder to protect your home and country and repel the invaders. Hinata looked around at everyone seriously. Everyone nodded. Then they all dispersed and walked towards the mission release area together. Someone stopped and seemed to want to invite Hinata Hikaru to perform a sea-level mission together. Others also stopped with their ears pointed. However, Hinata Hikaru shook his head this time. You must strengthen yourself, you cannot just rely on this leader, and my leader is in a more dangerous situation because there are always unscrupulous people who want to harm me. There was something in Hinata Hikari's words, and some people immediately walked away after hearing it. He is a genin of the Uchiha clan. Those who want to harm Hinata Hikari in Konoha are probably those with a guilty conscience. Hinata didn't even look at the fleeing figures and continued. This leader may not necessarily continue to accept tasks, because sea-level tasks are no longer difficult for me. I will spend more time practicing in seclusion. Hinata Hikari's words made everyone feel ashamed. They actually came up with the idea of hugging their thighs. What's the difference between this and Senjuyu Uto? I'm not happy if you say this. Senjuyu Uto spread his hands. Blame me? But no one paid attention to him. Sooner or later, you will be on the battlefield. The battlefield is very dangerous. You should take advantage of this time to increase your strength. After giving instructions, Hinata Hikari, Minato Namikaze, and Nosatsu floated away. Everyone stood there, looking at Hinata Hikaru's back. A little thought. We are already a burden now. Sarutobi Ryo sighed, and then took steps forward. When others heard his words, they were all ashamed. However, this also stimulated their inner motivation. So, one by one, the boys and girls cheered up and began to move towards a new beginning. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 281. Time flies, and in the blink of an eye, several months have passed. During this time, Hinata's physical skills became even more refined. Namikaze, Minato and Nosatsu are also becoming increasingly familiar with their respective abilities. The Second Ninja War intensified. Either the battle is won, or the battle is defeated. Either kill multiple enemies, or someone sacrifices. Sorrow and joy, emotion and pain. For Hinata Hikaru, the arrangement from the top management of Konoha will allow her to step out of a new world. This morning, Jiraiya invited 3 disciples to the shade of a tree. Jiraiya talked to the 3 disciples about the Chuyunin exam. The minimum requirement for taking the Chuyunin exam is to complete 8 D-level missions. Among them, priority will be given to genin who have completed twice the number of missions. I'm going to let all 3 of you participate. Konoha at this time is different from the era when the original plot begins. Even if there is only one person, he can still take the Chunin exam. Just like Kakashi and Uchiha Itachi were promoted to Chunin on their own, the same is true for Hinata Hikari's current era. But because the three disciples were too good, Jiraiya decided to let them all take the assessment. This is one of the powers to guide Jounin. If the guiding Jounin disagrees, the genin under his command will not be eligible to take the Chunin exam. Therefore, it is very important to have a good relationship with your mentoring Jounin. Over the years, there have been many teams that were unable to take the exam because they had to wear small shoes for their genin. Just look at the guys who are genin in their 18, 9, or even 20s. Chunin exam. Namikaze Minato's eyes flashed. After becoming a Chunin, you can receive many higher level B-level missions, fight enemies, and quickly increase your experience. Although cultivation can also improve, it has its limits. If you don't fight the enemy, you will always be behind closed doors. But on the other hand, becoming a Chunin means going to the battlefield. On the battlefield, not to mention Chunin, even Jounin were like cutting leeks, dying one after another. As the saying goes, Chunin are not as good as dogs, and Jounin are everywhere. It's about the great ninja war. But Namikaze Minato looked at Hinata. As long as Hinata is there, he can move forward firmly. Yasong looked directly at Hinata Hikari. Hinata is justice, and Hinata's decision is his decision. Gaga. This leader is finally going to break into the ninja world. Hinata Hikaru stood up from her seat very excitedly. In the ninja world, there are 5 sects, divided into Dongdake Kirigakuer, Zidake Iwagakuer, Nandake Tsunagakuer, Bidake Kumagakuer, Nakadake Konoha. Hinata said nervously. Among them, there are many small sects, Chingchenkayan. Cough, cough. Jiraiya coughed hard several times, interrupting Hinata's nonsense. This is the application form for the Chunin exam. Jiraiya took out 3 pieces of paper from his arms, with application forms for the Chunin exam written on them. But, recommendation is not mandatory. If you want to take the Chunin exam, just sign your name on it. Jiraiya crossed his chest and chuckled. The 3 of them took the application form and looked at it. Jiraiya-sensei, when will the Chunin exam be held? Namikaze Minato was more concerned about this matter than filling out the form. Preparation time. In a week, Jiraiya responded. Also, I decided to teach you some ninjutsu. Jiraiya remembered Orochimaru's mocking of him. Now that boy from Naoki has been taught by Orochimaru, he, the majestic toad sage of Mt. Mayaboku, cannot succumb to others. When he heard that there were ninjutsu that could be learned, Hinata Hikaru was the first to react. Lovable immortal, what ninjutsu are you going to contribute to this leader? Of course, he. One moment, Jiraiya's expression was very serious, and the next moment, he became extremely vulgar. Time flies, in the blink of an eye, 7 days later. I don't know who initiated the party, but all the genin of the same class came to a restaurant, which was reserved by an unknown person. Senju Momika, Sarutobi Ryo, Inyazuka Bones, Uchiha Futaba brothers and sisters. All the new or familiar faces appeared here. It could be said that this was the first class reunion after genin graduation. While everyone was eating, they were discussing the Chunin examination. Snapped. At this time, someone suddenly slammed the table. Then, the table of Uchiha clan stood up. There were several familiar faces mixed in. Their eyes looked at Hinata, obviously, they wanted to say something. Hikari Hinata. We will definitely defeat you in this Chunin exam. Promote the name of our Uchiha clan. The speech is very good and has a lot of fighting spirit. But the problem is, what's the reason for all this fuss? Hinata was stunned for a moment, but soon thought of something. Her cute little face showed the same smile as always. What a duck dot. The boys and girls of the Uchiha clan felt a little strange when they saw Hinata's reaction. In the end, they did not delve into it, but sat down with doubts and continued to eat. The previously frozen atmosphere became lively again, and the genin once again toasted to celebrate. There are unscrupulous people who want to harm my leader. Hinata Hikari sat in her seat and whispered. Well, it's about time. Namikaze Minato said gently, holding the water glass. But will that guy really come? Yesong frowned, expressing doubts. Definitely. Hinata Hikaru looked confident. What if you don't come? Didn't come that her exclusive weapon was ruined soon? She knew exactly what the Uchiha clan had planned. Hinata Hikaru said that he had already seen through their trick. Everyone looked at each other in shock when they heard the conversation between Hinata Hikaru and the three of them. But conversations like this, which others could not understand, had happened many times between Hinata Hikari, Namikaze Minato, and Namatsu. Every time, it feels mysterious and impossible to join in. After several hours of fun, the banquet was over. Hinata Hikari, Namikaze Minato, and Namatsu stood up and walked outside. The genin of the Uchiha clan stared at Hikari's back, with sinister sneers on their lips. Hikaru Hinata-kun, do you need our help? When we walked out of the restaurant, it was already dark. The night in Konoha was not quiet, but became warm again. This nightlife lasts until very late. No need, I can take care of that scumbag by myself. Hinata Hikari is confident. And Namikaze Minato also nodded. Yeah, that's true. Now and then, compared to the previous life, Hinata's strength has increased dramatically, so there should be no need to worry too much. However, to be on the safe side, Namikaze Minato decided that it was better to be prepared. He and Yesong looked at each other, both seeing what they were thinking. The two nodded and said goodbye to Hinata. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 282. The next day, early in the morning. Early in the morning, Hinata Hikaru came to the back mountain of Konoha to practice. There was still a week left before the Chuunin exams. This week, you can make full use of it to review what you have learned in the past. Crimson Clone. Rice Yangguang shouted casually, and a shadow moved out of the body like a ghost. After staring at Shueying, he stood opposite Hinata. Hikari Hinata is going to fight her Crimson Clone. In this way, you can practice the art of fighting each other from left to right. I saw that Hikaru Hinata stepped on the ground, and the ground exploded with bombs. Spiderweb-like cracks spread in all directions in an instant. Taking one step forward, Hinata Hikaru has arrived in front of the Crimson Clone. Chakra is mobilized, flowing throughout the body at an accelerated rate, and the body becomes activated. Even when facing his own clone, Hinata Hikaru will not be careless, because every move of the Crimson Clone is enhanced by the killing intent wave. Therefore, she must also use moves with the same power level. Killing intent wave rock strike. The red aura pulsed, wrapping around a little fist from the inside out. As soon as he strikes, it's sea-level taijutsu. This is a taijutsu that involves swinging a fist like a rock right in front of the enemy to kill the target unit. Like a mirror image, the Crimson Clone also punched out. The difference is that one is a normal figure and the other is a purely red figure. One is nervous, the other is cold and indifferent. Boom. The fists collided, and the red aura suddenly exploded. Hinata Hikaru and the Crimson Clone took a few steps back at the same time. It is good. Hinata Hikaru was obviously very satisfied with this blow, and it could be said that he felt very happy. When hitting others, you always need to control your strength at all times, fearing that someone will be beaten to death if you are not careful. But facing his own clone, he doesn't have so many scruples. Hinata Hikaru sprinted again, kicked off his feet, and reached the sky above the crimson clone. He turned his palms, turned them into claws, and suddenly took a shot. Killing intention fluctuation palm pressure. Pressing the palm is to hold the hand into a claw shape and use brute force to kill the enemy who is lying on the ground. But Hinata used it flexibly and directly changed her magic, jumping into the air and launching an air-to-ground attack on the Crimson Clone. The Crimson Clone suddenly raised its head and fought back without hesitation. Fluctuation of killing intent high five. The moves designed to suppress enemies from above collide with the moves designed to kill enemies from below. Boom! At the meeting point, red aura surged, and the ground collapsed under the Crimson Clone's feet. As if bitten by an invisible force, it dropped several inches. Hinata flew backwards with the help of rebound force and landed steadily. After missing a hit, the main body let out a weird laugh and stepped forward again. I saw two figures constantly moving around, and it was very lively. However, in this quiet valley, there is a malicious gaze, watching the sun from the darkness. The owner of the gaze is hidden in the darkness, making his figure unclear. It was the rebellious ninja killer hired by Uchiha Takano from the underground black market. A rebellious ninja from Hidden Cloud Village. In the ninja world, there are countless traitors, and among them Konoha is the most traitorous. Let's get to the point. Konoha has the most traitors. It's Konoha, it's Konoha. The country with the fewest traitors is Union Village. Kumigakura is different from Konoha, bloodline is only secondary. Strength is the first priority, and a strong ninja can gain the respect of his peers. To put it simply, in Union Village, fists are the last word. Some people say that the three Raikages of Cloud Hidden Village are all from the Yayu clan, but that is just because the ninjas of the Yayu clan were the strongest at the same time. Rebellious ninja is just his superficial identity. The real mission is to act as a killer, obtain secrets from various countries, assassinate important people, or capture important bloodline boundaries. Hikari Hinata, a ninja, and genin of the Hyuga clan. The delivery of this mission made the ninja from Hidden Cloud Village feel ecstatic. Although he did not know Uchiha Takano's identity, Uchiha Takano, who was from the police department, successfully helped him sneak into Konoha. It's not easy to get in with this kind of self-defeating behavior. Moreover, the target is actually the Hyuga clan, which has precious blood inheritance limits. Union Village is different from other ninja villages in that it has elite soldiers and strong government. While using tailed beast weapons, he also actively develops various ninjutsu, taijutsu, illusions, swordsmanship, and secret techniques. In the ninja world, the bloodstains of the major blood families are also coveted by them. Today, what a God-given opportunity, I actually have the opportunity to see the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan. This ninja from Hidden Cloud Village is not stupid. He lurked for several days and, using his disguise, learned some information about Hikaru Hinata. For example, this little psycho is a ninja from the Hyuga clan. For example, he once beat up a primary school student from Union Village. A few months ago, he defeated Troy and tricked Lord Burabi, which can be said to be very interesting. The separated ninjas all have the seal of the caged bird on their foreheads. It is said that if someone wants to remove the Byakugan of a branch family, the moment the Byakugan is removed, the ability of the Byakugan will be sealed by a curse. Similarly, if a separated ninja dies, the Byakugan will also be sealed and lose its ability. But so what? Since the Byakugan cannot be removed, it cannot kill the target. So why can't they be captured alive? Just capture it alive, bring it back to Union Village, and study it slowly. Could it be that the research with all the strength of Union Village still can't break a small curse seal? In the face of the temptation of white eyes, the fluctuation of murderous intention, the blood inheritance limit, is secondary. After making up his mind, he lurked in Konoha and patiently waited for the opportunity. Today, he finally got his chance. This little psycho's mentor is not here, nor are his two teammates, so she is the only one. It's funny to say that a little mentally ill person can become a ninja. What happened to Konoha? However, he was still slightly shocked when he saw the fluctuation of murderous intention displayed by Hinata Hikaru. Is that the unique blood inheritance limit possessed by this little psycho? In the ninja world, the usual blood successor ninjas have one kind of ninja. However, some people with special talents can have two blood inheritance limits at the same time. For example, the 5th generation Mizukage and Terumi Mei in the original work can boil and dissolve at the same time. The ninja of Hidden Cloud Village tried hard to suppress his inner desire and stared at Hinata Hikaru steadily. He's waiting, wait a little longer. In the valley, the battle between Hinata Hikaru and the Crimson Clone has come to an end. After all, Hinata Hikari was the superior one and punched the Crimson Clone. The Crimson Clone, which had withstood several attacks, finally reached its limit and disintegrated into a burst of red smoke. Then, these red smokes penetrated into Hinata's body as if they were conscious. Alas! The sudden memory feedback from the physical clone made Hinata stunned for a moment. At this moment, a sudden change occurred. Hikaru Hinata. Come and fight me for 300 rounds. A figure suddenly appeared here. Not the assassin from Hidden Cloud Village, but, Hyuga Mizui, whom he hadn't seen for many days. Hinata Mizui was dusty and wearing a green Chuyunin vest, but he did not wear a forehead protector, so his smooth forehead was exposed. Quack. It's your boy. Hinata Hikaru turned her head and looked at the defeated general who had been defeated by her many times. Hyuga clan, Hyuga water of the clan. The family members who were affected by her and Hinata's differences. Xiao Shuizi, you haven't hanged yourself yet. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 283. After not seeing each other for many days, Hinata Shui not only grew a lot taller, but also became a Chuyunin. Hang yourself. You still have the nerve to say that? You, the next one is Hinata Hisashi, none of you can escape. Hinata Shui pointed at Hinata Hikari with a look of grief and anger. He managed to pull himself together and successfully became a Chuyunin. The purpose is to defeat Hinata Hikari and avenge his previous humiliation. You know, among the Hyuga clan, he was the first to become a tragic joke. A noble family member was defeated by a little lunatic who separated from the family. Then, she and Hinata Hisashi teamed up to deceive him again, and they were deceived so miserably that he almost died. Hinata Water is thinking about revenge on Hinata Hikaru all the time. No, he just came back from the battlefield. He didn't even sit on the tatami to warm up, but he was looking for Hinata Hikaru everywhere. Hinata Shui ran to find Hinata Hikaru's two teammates, and by asking them, he learned about Hinata Hikaru in the mountains behind Konoha. A Chuyunin challenged a genin. Hinata Shui is not embarrassed at all, because he knows that Hinata light is very strong. Very strong. This intensity can be clearly felt when he fights with other ninjas and even goes on the battlefield. Other ninjas, whether they are from Konoha, Wild Ones, small ninja villages, or even from the 5 major countries, few have such upright abilities as Hinata Hikaru. Most ninjas will be abused when they encounter Hyuga Shui in close combat. After all, when it comes to physical skills, the Hyuga clan's soft fists are invincible. Almost most enemies, when they see Hyuga Shui, will try to distance themselves and choose long-range strikes. No matter how bad it is, they can still use long weapons, knives, swords, etc. to fight against Hinata Water. Only Hinata Hikaru exceeded Hyuga Shui's expectations, like a small beast armed to the teeth, unable to hit or chew. I have become stronger. The corner of Hinata Shui's mouth curled up with a hint of pride. Speaking of Hinata's ninja career, he performed more than 100 C-level missions, dozens of B-level missions, months of fighting on the battlefield, and even a dangerous A-level mission. Hinata Shui can clearly feel the improvement in his strength, and even his former mentor Jonin was full of praise for him. Hinata nodded her little head vigorously. It seems that my leader didn't help you open up the Ren and Do second line in vain. Hinata Hikaru refers to the last moment when Hinata Shui and Hinata Hisashi were knocked away with a slap. It is known as the healing power of luck, and now it has become the opening of Ren and Do's 2 meridians. You still said that. Hinata Shui stretched out his hand and pointed at Hinata Hikari, almost crying. He was tortured by Hinata Hikari and Hinata Hisashi, and he was confused for a long time. If he didn't die, he would be lucky. Did not hear. You are getting stronger, isn't this leader getting stronger? Hinata Hikaru put his hands behind his back and looked at Hinata Shui with contempt. Hinata tilted her head, angry. Hikaru Hinata, that's the only thing you're bad about. Why do you always like to ridicule others? Do you know that it's easy to offend people like this? Hinata Shui said with hatred that iron cannot become steel. Tenshin wears a sarcastic face and goes out to discredit the Hyuga clan. Humph. Hinata flicked his sleeves and his expression suddenly changed. Zaza, this leader has done what he has done all his life, why do I need to explain it to you? Okay, very good, Hinata Hikaru, come on, let's have a try. Hinata Shui gritted his teeth and looked at Hinata Hikari, opened his stance, and prepared to compete with Hinata Hikaru. Hinata nodded and also opened up his stance. She is the majestic leader of Tongtian cult, not afraid of any challenges. When the two of them opened their stance, the Kyumigaku assassin hiding in the dark suddenly opened his eyes wide. Through Hinata's smooth forehead, he instantly realized that this was a ninja from the Hyuga clan. It's a big fish. In other words, it's getting bigger this time. Originally, I thought I would just meet a ninja from the Hyuga branch, and I would just split up the family. Anyway, it would be okay. But Sage of Six Paths seemed to have made a joke with him. He actually sent a ninja from the clan right in front of him. What an unexpected surprise. He was so itchy that he suddenly fell into difficulty in making a choice. Which one should we target? Hinata Hikari, who was separated from the family, was obviously a genin, so the success rate must be higher. But the clan's Hinata Shui has a pair of removable Byakugan, and there is no need to worry about his life or death, as long as he is killed. Once you get the eyes, you can leave. Chuyunin. Chuyunin is very strong, but not as strong as him. With special means, he can kill Hinata Shui with one hit. All he needs to do is kill Hyuga Sui with one blow, gouge out his eyes, and then kidnap Hyuga Hikaru. Haha, only children do the multiple choice questions, of course I want them all as adults. Drink. Just when he was thinking happily, Hinata Shui opened his stance and was about to swing his bagwazang towards Hinata Hikari. Wait. Ouch. However, Hinata Hikaru's words made him stagger and almost fall. What's wrong? Hinata Shui looked at Hinata Hikari with disgust. It's good, it's not good. Why should I accept your challenge? Hinata Hikaru stretched out her little hand with a matter-of-fact expression. Long eyelashes, exquisite eyes, and an ethereal temperament. Oh who? Hinata Shui couldn't help but sigh inwardly. So cute. Wrong. What are you thinking about? Hinata Shui, how can you think a little psycho is cute? Benefits, benefits, benefits for you. Sailor Hinata stretched out his hand, took out a wad of money, and slapped it hard on the ground. 100,000 taels. Hinata Shui said coquettishly. No more change. Hinata Shui waved his hand, pretending to be beeping. The life of rich people is so simple and boring. Gaga, okay. Hinata Guang turned his little hand over and his 5 fingers became claws. Star-sucking Dafa. Laugh. The air vibrated, and the pile of money flew from the ground into Hinata Hikaru's hands. Snapped. Hinata Hikari grabbed it and put it into his ninja bag. What kind of magical operation is this? Hinata Shui was stunned by this scene. Quack. Hinata smiled strangely and saw Hinata's stupid look. She thought to herself, this leader has many tricks that you don't know. The two sides stood up silently, veins popping out around their eyes. The Hyuga clan's bloodline limit, the Byakugan, will naturally be opened. Otherwise, it would be impossible to discern each other's movements. Because the ninjas of the Hyuga clan are very fast and can break through the sky. The clan's ninjas have practiced to the extreme, and can even launch 64 super high-speed combos in an instant. This kind of sky-breaking hand speed is incredible to people from other families. Only those with the Byakugan and Sharingan can see this action clearly. White eyes have two functions. The first function is see-through eye. By turning on the white eyes, you can automatically see 360 degrees and see through the meridians of the human body. Visual range is limited to a 50-meter circle. The second function is telescope. You can achieve the effect of a see-through telescope by adjusting the vision of the white eyes. The disadvantage is that it cannot see 360 degrees and requires be focused specifically. Hinata Hikaru and Hyuga Sui, who each had their Byakugan opened, stared at each other closely. Using only their clairvoyance eyes, they did not notice the Kyomagakure ninja lurking in the darkness 50 meters away. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report.